Welcome to The Current Case, where we explore the intersection of life advice and the latest headlines. Each episode, we dive deep into the stories shaping our world, from global events to personal triumphs. But here's the twist. We don't just stop at news analysis. We take it a step further, extracting practical wisdom that can transform your life and help you navigate the ever-changing landscape. Whether you're seeking guidance in your relationships, career, health, or personal development, we've got you covered. Our mission is to empower you with actionable advice, thought-provoking discussions, captivating interviews, and thoughtfully curated segments that will challenge your perspectives and ignite your passion for personal growth.
Hello, everybody, and welcome back to the Current Case podcast. We are finally back from our long hiatus. We've been spending time during our break, basically from season 3, to discuss format changes. We're noticing ourselves, we're kind of getting tired of recording episodes each week. Things are becoming stale to us, so we really wanted to sit down and try to figure out ways we can make this fresh again. And we think we've come up with a really good method to try and do that. Of course, we want to hear your feedback as well, so make sure you leave a comment, tell us what you guys think of this new format, and hopefully, if it all goes well, this will be the last format change we'll have to do. And from here on out, this is kind of how we'll rock and roll with this. But basically, our plan is, at least on YouTube, is to split up episodes. So there's going to be 2 separate videos, one dedicated to more current events like we've always covered on this show, another dedicated to more lifestyle, life advice, life tips, also what we've covered, but instead of trying to have one long episode dedicated to it, I figured it'd be a lot better for us to split things up, make things a little bit easier to engage as well, and all of that jazz. We're also going to have a video game background playing, so there'll be something to visually look at. And again, please leave feedback, tell us what you think of this new format. And with that being said, let's go ahead and jump into what we want to talk about today, which is the big social media shitstorm that's been occurring been occurring on a lot of different platforms here. Starting with Threads, of course, it came out about a month ago. Right when it came out, you had Elon Musk threatening to sue Zuckerberg for it, and then now it's been reporting that Threads has gotten a significant user drop. So at the beginning, they said at least 100 million people signed up in less than a week, but now 3 weeks after the launch after the app has launched, there has been a big drop from 49 million at its peak to only 12 million users a day. So basically, it is now it's getting less than average compared to, now X. And we'll get to that as well. And it's just kind of essentially, I wouldn't say it hasn't been abandoned, but it's definitely not hitting what it was when it came out. So I guess the big question now is, why do we think that is? Why did Threads eventually pop off and just go to completely fizzle out?
I think Threads really popped off per se, simply because they made it really easy to get onto the platform. Mm-hmm. You didn't have to create a new account. You didn't have to create a new password. You didn't have to sign in with Google or any of this other nonsense. Just, you use Instagram. Here, want to use this? Tap this button. Boom, there you were.
Right. But now the question is, so it seems simple. I looked at it originally. I didn't stay on it too long. Now the big question is, why did Threads fizzle out? Why are people...
Because you follow people and the feed isn't chronological. I think that's a new update that they're working on.
Yeah.
You just kept getting all this garbage. And the only way to fix it was to block accounts that you didn't like, and hope that the algorithm kind of picked up and it's like, they don't like that content, let's switch it up.
Right. And there was also that, and also the fact that I noticed when I was browsing my feed, it was not the people that I was following. It was just random garbage, like the Human Rights Campaign and other stuff that I don't care about. Why am I seeing this? I don't follow them. I have no interest in what they're posting. And just to be clear, that's not just the Human Rights Campaign. It's everyone that was popping up in my feed, just so we're clear on that.
Fuck Human Rights.
All right. I'm just seeing all this garbage, pointless political nonsense and just trash I don't care about. And it's I'm following all these people, all the same people on Instagram that made a Threads account I'm following. But for some reason their stuff's not showing up in my feed. So what incentive do I have to use the platform?
Right. It's what's the point if I follow certain people and then all this random garbage pops up that I don't want to see. Like, why would I keep using it if nothing's going to get fixed either? Maybe they are making an effort to fix it now, but that's stuffing you should probably have at basic launch.
I think this is going to go down as a case study in MBA programs. It's like, oh, look, you hit this wonderful metric, and then you just drop the ball.
It seemed,
It sounds like another early access syndrome, if you get what I mean.
Yeah, the classic early access Steam syndrome. Promise features will deliver later.
It also like didn't have the same functionality that Twitter had at the start, from what I know. Like, as far as I'm aware, you couldn't even post a GIF before. Like, you can now, but at launch, as far as I know, you couldn't, which is like something Twitter's had forever. So it's like, if you're gonna make something to try and compete with Twitter, why are you not just launching it with the same basic functionality?
Yeah, exactly. And Ashton, I really like that point you made, early access syndrome. I mean, of course, it's free to use compared to early access games.
Early access / live service.
Right. But, I mean, I think when you launch something, I get, like, some features you do plan on adding later. I completely get that. But I think the basics should be there, like adding GIFs, basic, like DMs weren't there at the beginning either. Like, the basic stuff, that has to be there if you want a functioning platform. And people aren't going to give you that much time to add the basics. Like, the stuff you should add later on, and honestly, this is a good video game reference too, should just make your product really pop off, basically. Like, you have the basic chunks there, now you're ready to add, it's like vanilla ice cream, I guess, and you're ready to add the flavor to it, ready to add the toppings and stuff. And I think, like, Threads, it just didn't have that. It's like getting a bowl and a spoon with, like, maybe a little drizzle of vanilla in there, not a full scoop, basically. And that's my analogy for that. Can Threads be redeemed, you think? You think Threads can pop back off again, bring back its user base?
I don't think so. There's nothing they can do at this point, unless if Elon Musk actually, like, ruins Twitter or X or whatever it's called. Like, if he goes through with that, if he changes it to X, gets rid of the bird icon, changes it to an X, that's what he's been talking about doing. I don't know if you're aware.
He's already done it.
He's already done it. He's already done it. Wow.
Yeah.
Okay.
I was about to bring that up next, actually, because
well, then, yeah, maybe Threads has a chance to replace X, because this is not going to fly. It almost makes you wonder if Elon is, like, deliberately destroying the platform. I mean, he has the money to burn, like to you and I, that's terrible use of money. But he's one of the richest men on the planet. He has the money to burn. Like, if he just wanted this platform dead, then he did it.
That's what
he got what he
for
wanted
in the first place. Plus, he really likes China's idea of whatever one-stop shop that they have that integrates, like, payment,
The WeChat
social media.
app.
Yeah,
WeChat.
that's what Elon wants to create here. And so he just wanted all of Twitter's IP and, like, foundational stuff,
yeah.
which he ended up getting. So he's like, well, I have it, so
Fuck it.
exactly.
And if you go on Twitter right now, as I said, the bird is gone. Like, I'll literally pull this up. I'll try to show a screenshot of this as well. I mean, you can literally just log on to Twitter yourself. But go to twitter.com, look up a tweet, like, again, X that pops up, and basically Twitter is still twitter.com, but now there's an X replacing the bird.
Reminds me of that. Remember that meme of the oversimplified company logo?
Yeah.
Remember that? That's what this reminds me of.
Well, hey, at least it's better than that. I think it was Skyrim, wasn't it? That there was like an apple or an orange PNG somewhere in the code. If they removed it, like, the whole game completely broke.
I don't remember that. Just works.
Oh boy.
I mean, I think at this point it's clear that Elon doesn't give a single fuck anymore, because, I mean, Twitter already was, like, one of the most recognizable brands ever. Like, everyone, if you saw the Twitter bird, like, I think even the oldest person who doesn't know much about the internet probably recognize it as Twitter. Like, of course, when you post something on Twitter, it's called a tweet.
Yeah.
And retweet, sharing Twitter videos and stuff like that. So now it's like, oh, I'm just going to share my X video. And if you don't know, X video is a porn site.
Oh,
So
he did not think this through, did he?
And I've also, and speaking of that, I've seen reports that there's countries dropping now X just because of that correlation with porn. So
I guess Elon Musk decided to take one look at the dumpster fire that was Twitter, and like, fuck it, here's a whole tanker truck full of gasoline. I'll just throw that on the fire. What could possibly go wrong?
Right, it's like, you're literally losing money with this new format change, because, I mean, brands are now going to start, unsponsoring you because X is just correlating X with a lot of things tends to go with porn. And
Well, he probably could not have gone with Z because that's associated with the Russian invasion of Ukraine.
Elon Musk is obsessed with the letter X for some reason, if you haven't noticed. I think he named like his son something X related. I know he had X.
Yeah, it was like XAE-12 or something.
Yeah.
Goodness.
And then you have, of course, SpaceX. I think that's a cool name, but
Yeah,
you got the X in there. So he's obsessed with the letter X for whatever reason. And then now he's basically tanking a whole big recognizable brand for this.
Yeah, sounds like his ego's gotten the better of him here.
Oh, he is long gone at this point. His ego's through the roof. I mean, I remember when people used to like Elon Musk back in the days, like everyone would defend him, like they call him a genius and stuff.
Yeah, now he's way in over his head.
What's live long enough or die soon enough? What's that phrase?
You either die a hero or you live long enough to see yourself become the villain.
Yep, exactly. So I think obviously it seems like now this saga, he's on this full villain arc, basically. But it's going to be I honestly don't know for sure if Twitter or X is going to keep up like this. It might bring popularity back to Threads again, because people are going to dump X. And if Elon keeps this up, he has a habit of saying things and then automatically just going back on them like a week or so later. So
Except the fight with Zuckerberg, apparently that's still on.
yeah, so
Really?
it might be a case of he's really going to stick with this and lose all this sponsors, but we'll see. That's going to be, I honestly don't know what he's going to do.
Well, if the captain wants to go down with this sinking ship, far be it from me to prevent him from following through on that.
I will say Twitter's given us lots of entertainment since Elon has bought it. I remember when we first started talking about this, I think one of our first season 1 episodes is when we started talking about this.
Didn't we used to call Elon our punching bag
Yeah.
for a brief time? Perhaps it's time to bring that back.
We'll see what he does with X, that's for sure. All right, last thing we want to talk about here today to wrap up this video is Reddit. We've talked about Reddit the past season and the dumpster fire that they're currently in. They brought back r/place this past week, which r/place is like a big subreddit which allows users to place down a little pixel every 5 minutes, which essentially allows them to create art, like pixelated art. You can work together in communities and formulate and just talk and create your own piece of artwork. Usually they did one last year in 22 and they did their first one in 17. So it started as an April Fool's joke and last year they did it around April 1st as well. So this year they did it last week. And of course right after, conveniently, all the new third-party API changes that were insanely unpopular. So what was on the canvas board was repeatedly fuck Spez, or aka Spez the CEO, Steve Hoffman of Reddit. So I was participating on it. It was pretty hilarious though. You can't really say the thing backfired on them because it drove users to the website and obviously gave them money. But at the same time, it's funny seeing all the user base come together and say fuck the CEO of Reddit.
Yep.
I don't think Steve Hoffman gives a fuck either. He reminds me of Elon Musk. I don't think he's going to revert these changes. He's going to be like, people are going to use Reddit anyways. Who cares? We're going to screw over the mods and everybody and make our users unhappy.
Who uses Reddit? Just like Twitter. Who actually uses those two
Hey, it's
platforms?
X now. Come on.
Well,
Get with it.
Whatever
they're
it's
both
called now.
useless.
Well, Matt, do you think Threads is going to pop back off with X being what it is? Do you want to see Threads pop off again?
No,
No.
I don't.
No. Thought you liked Threads.
It was cool for a bit because, number one, there weren't any advertisements on the platform. So it gave it a really unique feel to it. Felt like everyone was like briefly engaging with everyone else in a positive way without, all the scammy bots and like, oh, buy my course, buy this, crypto bro, It was like real people and you're engaging with real people. But now with the influx of people, that's all gone. So it had a unique moment, but now that moment's gone and passed, it's gonna fade off.
That's fair. Give it a good week and then it's gone.
Yep.
I get that. Once the people jump into it,
Kind of just came and went. If you really think about it.
it's like Pokemon Go.
Just
Pokemon
came and
Sleep.
went. It's gone.
Pokemon Sleep.
Have you tried that app yet, Jared?
Not yet. I'll try it. I'll download it. See if it improves my sleep schedule.
Speaking of sleep schedule, that's where we talked. Speaking of sleep schedule, that's what we're going to be talking about on our next episode, so make sure you stay tuned for that.
Well, I wouldn't call it the next episode, more like a sister video.
Yeah, so
Something like that.
yeah, with that being said, we're going to wrap up this video
Didn't you
today.
have something to say about? I think you had to talk about like some sort of Steam early access thing.
We kind of talked about it. With,
No, I was right. Next episode.
Yeah.
Because we're not talking about that one today. We're talking about something else that
Alright.
the audience should
Okay.
stay tuned and watch for. But next week we'll be talking about that.
Yeah, and Ash and I think we kind of talked about it when you brought it up, early access scams. There was a scam right now, probably not even sure if I include this or not, but there was a scam right now with a game on Steam that was called One Man's Greed, where it was a 17-year-old TikToker who basically advertised his game he was creating. Like, he pumped it up. He's like, oh, I'm going to do this. It's going to be GTA 6 online. And then he launched it. He said it was going to be free to play. And then it turned out to be $30 on Steam. And then it turns out it didn't have half the features that were promised in it.
Sounds like he has future prospects at EA.
To make it even worse. Yeah. To make it even worse, apparently you had to use his website to use the login. So he could data harvest your information and stuff.
Yikes.
So be aware.
That's a red flag.
Early access games are bad enough. Now there's active scams on Steam. This game is still up as well. Steam doesn't care.
As long as they get a share of the profits, they could probably care less.
Exactly. And that's now we're finding
Unless it was 2042 where they actually offered refunds outside of their normal policy.
Yeah.
That was a good move on their part, but
Other
still.
than that, bullshit. With that being said, we are going to wrap up today's segment. Please tune into the next segment, which will be in the next video. You'll see the link to it in our video as well.
Recorded on the same day.
Yep, on the same day. I forgot to mention, today's July 26th, by the way. So please leave a like, subscribe, leave feedback again. Tell us what you think of this new format, and we'll see you in the next video.
Try to stay cool, especially with this heat wave going on.
Exactly.